Dear viewer, I hate to say it, but your video's in another castle. Or channel. It's over on Extra Credits Gaming, the new channel we just made just for specifically gaming content. So if you're looking to better understand how much we should understand actual quests in our games, then please go check out that video. It's really, really fun. Until then, I think I'd like to play the game that actually got me thinking about this entire thing, which is Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, because some of it, without a guide, is insane to try to figure out. But we'll explore that, and possibly there might be a secret phrase somewhere in this video that then you can enter as a comment over on channel 2 on the corresponding video after you like and subscribe, of course, where you might be entered in a raffle to theoretically win something neat. Who knows? So, with that in mind, let's boot that up and check out just how obtuse quest design can be. Okay, everybody, welcome. It is me again from a few seconds ago, I guess now, but I am not alone, dear friends. With me is the fantabulous James Portnow. How are you, sir?
Hey, everybody. I was doing good until you told me we were playing Simon's Quest.
You don't besmirch the most noble of quests. I know, we both kind of do.
But except for I do love Simon's Quest in the same way that I love Zelda 2, so...
Yeah.
Let's do this thing. I've got my September-October 1988 episode of Nintendo Power right here in front of me.
Perfect.
So I'm set and ready to go.
All right, and everybody who's watching, do not forget, be on the lookout for a secret word. We might say it might appear somewhere on the screen, something that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel like it belongs in the world of Castlevania, at least how it's presented or said, and then you can enter that over on channel 2 on Extra Credits Gaming on the video about how well we should understand our quest that came out the exact same day this did. All right.
And hint, it's not the fact that this intro is happening all on a film strip. Why is Castlevania on a film strip? How does that even exist in the Castlevania universe?
I have no idea, but also it doesn't give you enough time. Watch this. I'm going to just read this as quickly as I can. Prologue. Step into the house of the Shadow of the Hell House. You've arrived back at the air of the Transylvania to do business. Destroy the forever... nope, it's gone. Like, there's no way to actually read that quickly enough.
All I know is I'm coming here on business. I am Belmont the Traveling Salesman. I'm good to go.
We're doing it.
Let's do the business.
Also, there's no sound when you hit start. It just fades the sound, so you're not sure if you're playing yet. Okay.
It says player 3 there. All right.
Yeah.
We're somewhere doing something. We are someone.
So this is the interesting thing. I'm going to say a couple things for those of you at home who don't know about this game. It's technically open world, air quotes, and it runs on a day-night cycle that switches around every 3 minutes and different things happen in those spaces. But it throws you in not knowing what you're doing.
To be fair to this game and other games of this era, there's the expectation that you have read the manual.
True.
Because at this time, games came with a manual that you would read on the car ride home while, mom was picking up your little brother or whatever.
Yeah. And the only way right now to get any information is if you talk to these people by hitting the attack button and they say random stuff.
Right.
A crooked trader is offering bum deals in this town.
Yeah, don't buy from that crooked trader.
Don't buy from... We don't know who that is.
Right. So, and just so you know, one of the first things that Nintendo Power alerts you to is don't believe everything you hear because a few pranksters are lurking about. So literally, some of these people will lie to you about what you're supposed to do, which
I love it.
Best informational design.
I love it so much. Okay, I guess...
Are we gonna actually get out of this town? Like, is that gonna happen before we finish this,
I don't know. And this is the other thing. So, buy a white crystal. So you start this game with 50 hearts. That's the currency in this game. It is worth it, in my opinion, having played this game at least 50 times, to do this at the start.
So... It is one of the first tips that Nintendo Power gives you. Buy the white crystal, exclamation point.
The only other thing I could think of is if you go inside here, you can go in these buildings. Oh, so holy water is actually, you can start getting to other things. Because holy water breaks bricks. Again, game doesn't tell you this. I'm going off of a lot of memory.
Right. Like, I have no idea what any of these pieces of equipment do.
And even when let's buy the holy water, right?
Yeah. And even assuming that I'm going in from the previous game, holy water does different things in this game than it did in Castlevania 1.
Yeah, so you have this little menu. Also, it tells you the time of day. Time doesn't go by inside buildings or manors, the dungeons in the game. So let's see here. You can actually select just by moving over. Now I have selected the holy water. And when you hit up, like in old Castlevania games, and hit attack, you throw holy water.
Okay. It does in the manual say holy water disintegrates walls and floors, which conceal weapons and items.
Okay.
So every item in the game, like most of the manual is taken up with pictures of monsters and descriptions of the items and weapons.
Right. Okay. Also, water kills you instantly, so you have to be careful to jump.
I mean, Simon the Traveling Salesman never learned to swim.
This is another thing. They always name spaces, and while sometimes there are signs that say things on where to go, oh no. We've hit the night cycle, James. What a horrible night to have a curse.
What a horrible night to have a curse.
So we haven't done anything yet.
Cool. And then don't they come to like rock us now? Yep.
Yeah. So again, like James, I guess so. You made such an interesting point about the manual, and I always forget that. Like it assumes that you have read something about it, but like it never quite explains. Although actually, I don't know. I should probably look this up. Like if it explains like you have 8 days, because that's the other thing too. The endings change based on how long you take to kill Dracula.
As far as I can see from this,
that sign tells us directions. Yep.
No. Although it does tell you how not. It tells you to treat your Konami game carefully. It tells you all the ways you can break a NES game by, turning off the power at the wrong time.
Oh boy. It's also wise to, at least in the beginning, when you're really this squishy, not to go out into the wilderness because the baddies are badder.
They get substantially harder at night, don't they?
Yeah, like that normally takes 1 or 2 hits.
I don't know if that's called out. That is called out in Nintendo Power. That's not called out in the manual as far as I can tell.
Thank God you have that ancient magazine.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, who doesn't have their pile of Nintendo Powers? Man, I wish I could share you the glorious illustrations in this. It's
the cover of it was like a controversy back in the day.
I do vaguely remember that.
Because it shows Simon Belmont holding Dracula's severed head, and it said, and parents were like, it's giving my children nightmares.
Right. It specifically says 14 pages of gory details.
Oh, well. Again, I hope everyone at home doesn't think we're poo-pooing on this game. I love this game. I'm just fascinated because when I was a kid, I didn't know what I was doing. Like,
except for, interestingly, right, in some ways it grabbed both of us because, like, even though I didn't know what I was doing as a kid, I wanted to, right? Like, this was a cool mystery that in ways that some other games were not, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's kind of the secret to, at least for us when we were, like, I remember getting so mad at this game, like really mad at this game, because I couldn't progress. But I always came back. And like, because of the mystery, and back then, of course, there was no internet, you can't just like walk through. You are forced to figure things out yourself.
I mean, I remember looking through this episode of Nintendo Power like a million times with my friends in the library in grade school, right?
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, is that a good tenet of then?
Well, so here's the question.
Yeah.
Like, how fundamentally different is it than the informational design of Minecraft, right? Minecraft is just the modern equivalent where it depends that you go on a wiki or like even Elden Ring, right? Where to do a lot of this, it depends.
Wait, Morning Sun has vanquished. That looks different than I remember it.
Vanquished the horrible night. That is, I don't remember that being quite that way.
Yeah, but whatever. Let's keep going. Skeletons. What were you saying? I'm so sorry. We got the sun cut you off.
I was just talking about how the informational design here depends on you looking to 2 outside sources. And you can argue that games like Minecraft and games like Elden Ring or any of the From Software games do sort of count on their player base moving to outside sources. As we talked about in the episode, I do think that is valid The only difference is we live in the age of the internet where it's very easy to get to those outside sources, and not only there's more than one person explaining it, right? Remember that if you didn't understand the weird cryptic stuff, because the Nintendo Power is not very clear either.
What?
If you're not right, yeah, best made magazine of all time.
I do love Nintendo Power. Not gonna lie.
I do. I still do. I love the illustrations. They're so good.
Yeah.
Are we going to Berkeley?
So this is, I guess this is Berkeley, but so you can't, and now this is something that I know from playing this game, but it's not told anywhere. There is a floating platform around here that you cannot see unless you have the blue crystal. We can't get that until we get the white one and then trade it at another town. But to get that information, it is I don't know how one would even go about it.
Right. Let's see.
So what I'm gonna do, I think, just while we're chatting,
I don't think that was Berkeley. I think they tell you in Nintendo Power to go to a different mansion first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the other thing too. Actually, you know what? Let's check this out. Now we're gonna do some exploratory slaying here. We're gonna go back to that manor, and we're gonna see if anywhere it tells us what manor it is. Or if it's just the signs in the town that say, go east to whatever. So, like, here we are. There's no information about where we are.
Nope, not on the start
menu. Not on
here,
and there's no other menus outside of the save state stuff. I'm playing this on the Switch on the Anniversary Collection. So, I do know that I have... Let's do this. I know, like, the trick to be done, right?
Right.
Let's see if we can go back to the town and parse, so we know what needs to happen. I need to get the blue crystal to have that. Now, that was never told us, we just know it. Let's see if anyone tells us anything about what a blue crystal is, what we can do, like...
Okay, so in the manual it says the white crystal offers a weakened source of magic power, blue crystal offers a stronger power than the white crystal. That's all the information you get about the blue crystal, I believe, in the whole game.
Wow. Well, let's see if the, let's see if the town, like the townsfolk, in town number 1, I'm just gonna march back. We earned enough hearts to buy the white crystal already, so wait for the skeleton. Whee! God, I love this game. I love it. Again, your point it kind of opened my eyes. It's so valid, like, the fact that, like, this design is hyper obtuse, and yet I not only memorized things. Oh no! Not only memorize things like how not to die. Oh boy.
You, sir, vanquished.
Yeah.
So the thing that's so interesting about it to me, right, is From Software games do really live on this principle, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. I think maybe in my life I figured out like 2 From Software quests entirely on my own.
Yeah.
Without looking at anything outside.
Here we go again. Oh, great. Right, just when we got back to town. This isn't good. Because we have to talk to the townsfolk and they go inside during the night.
Right.
Oh boy. Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, that werewolf is a problem.
You gotta go!
Bye! I love that upstairs animation. That's so
yeah, it's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't parse anymore where I got the information that I have to play this game.
I literally remember, like, all of my friends, like, knowing one secret or having figured out something, and, like, us all at recess, like, sharing information to try and figure this out.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, right, like, in the modern era, it works better because I have access to literally hundreds of thousands of people who are posting different ways to understand the information from a From Software game, right? Like, if you look at how many just videos there are of going through some of those From Software quests, you're pretty sure I can get the information I need if I really seek it out. Here, oh man, like, they made everything, like, as obtuse as possible. And don't forget, this is also in the days where localization was not great.
Oh, the translation of this game is terrible.
Beautiful. You mean beautiful.
I mean beautiful. If we can get to the manor, James, there's a wonderful, I think, misspelling when you get Dracula's bone.
I caught a couple of misspellings in the Nintendo Power, actually.
And what we're doing right now, everybody, is I literally have to wait and see what the townsfolk say, so I'm just grinding for hearts, which will come in handy later. Because I can't... Oh, see, and that, okay, does it say anywhere in the manual? What happened, and this is based on how many hearts you get, don't tell me how I know this, I leveled up. Now I'm level 1.
Congrats. Oh, you hit 150.
Yeah, I guess, like...
Do something with.
But nowhere, maybe it does say in the manual that you can level up, but there is a leveling system in this game that is not told to you.
No, in the Nintendo Power, it hints at it. I remember, because I looked over this before we talked. I like flipped back through it, and it literally says somewhere in here, like, if you get enough hearts, you'll become more powerful.
Okay. I'm gonna go downstairs because I think now that I'm healed, I don't need the church when it comes back, when this morning happens. Ooh. I think it's also important to note, like, this, in my eyes, is 1000% a precursor to the Souls games. And to be able to pull off something even remotely Souls-like on the, oh no.
Oh god. Oh god, there we go.
On the NES. Oop, thank you, iframes. Is, okay, I'm still level 1, just double checking. Here we go.
No, all it says is you must gain power before you dare its many perils.
Wow.
When talking about the Belisco Marsh.
Again, something looked weird again on that message about the sun. That's so odd. All right.
That's how I remember it, but...
yeah. Let's see. Buy a thorn whip. So, let's wait and see if we get the crystal first. I don't want to overspend.
Well, it's funny because the Nintendo Power literally starts with Thorn Whip. Buy this powerful weapon as soon as you can, and then buy the White Crystal. The White Crystal is your first step to attaining magical power. Purchase the White Crystal before you set out on your quest.
But you only start with 50.
Right. So I think they're trying to tell you to buy the White Crystal first.
Okay.
Also, can I just tell you, my entire youth, I know these guys are like cultists or whatever, but I thought, see how they have that like smile on their chest? Like I thought they had another mouth in their chest.
Oh my god, the guy in the gray.
Yep.
Yeah. I never saw that. It looks almost like an Among Us like imposter.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't like it, James. Why did you open that?
Ruining your childhood's what I do.
I hate it. All right, I'm buying this thorn whip and then we're moving on to the other town.
From Mouth Guy?
Yeah. So I know for a fact that we need to, from Mouth Guy, yeesh, we need to go to the other town. Rumor has it, the ferryman at Dead River loves garlic. Okay, so that
right.
is a clear hint.
Right.
But I'm wondering, to know that you need the blue crystal, a magic potion will destroy the wall of evil.
That's your holy water.
Jeez, that's poor translation.
You can read that sign, can't you?
Yeah.
And does that tell you what town you're in?
Yes, well, kind of. Let's see. In the town of Aldra, go and see him. So that might be a thing leading you to the blue crystal. The sign says...
I don't know which...
Turn right for the Jova Woods, which I think we're in Jova now. Left for Belasco Marsh.
But I love how right before that, there's a hint that says to go to the town of Aldra. Neither of those... Like, nothing on that sign tells you which direction Aldra is.
Right. 13 clues will solve Dracula's riddle.
Cool.
Oh, jeez. Okay, and lastly, I think, this might be the guy who just tells us people lie. And then we'll move on. So nothing we've found here, unless we're missing something. First thing to do in this town is buy a white crystal. Okay, we found that person.
How close do you spawn to that guy, like, at the very beginning of the game?
Well,
he's right next to the Crooked Trader guy.
Yeah, so like, I don't know.
There is that hint, at least, like, early on. I don't totally remember... Does the White Crystal, like, besides,
It does
yeah, what
nothing.
do you do with the White Crystal? Okay, that's what I thought. I thought even though in the manual it's like the crystals give you magical powers. Well, that got cut.
But with the Thorn Whip is doing some damage to these wolves.
Yeah, no longer getting literally stomped on by wolves.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go, and just because I know where to go, and we'll see if there was. I mean, so they said that we had a friend in the town of what was it?
Adra.
Adra. So I think that's where I'm heading.
Man, I don't know why, but this is making me want to play Rygar, like the old.
Rygar is also great.
Yes.
All right, this is making this much easier because level up makes it so my holy water, I think, might do 2 damage instead of 1.
Which it's good that they have a way of informing you.
Yeah, just I'm guessing it feels more powerful. All right, we have to now, I believe. Let's see. It's gonna turn nighttime the second we get to a town. There's no question in my mind.
I also, what was in the area below that you didn't go down to down there?
That I don't think has anything. You can go down here.
I thought, because there are lots of, like, has nothing areas.
Yeah.
That I can't remember if they have secrets or if they're actually just a bunch of has nothing areas in this game. Man.
Oh, now we're in a town. What?
Nice.
Okay, this wasn't the town I was thinking of. A rib can shield you from evil. Yep, I remember that. So that explains.
Good thing you've got a bunch of them.
Oh boy.
What a horrible might have occurred.
I think this might be the town where you get the blue crystal. So let's.
That water looks like your death.
Yeah. Can you not read at night? It's too dark.
No.
I would love to know what town this is. Oh, these are stronger.
Uh-oh.
So, do we think, going back to the episode, because the idea, we never wanted to say like, oh, like one type of quest design is better than another type of quest design, but is there a way we can kind of parse it, right? Like, I would posit that understandability and clearness goes a long way, but if you're in something that you feel like has infinite possibilities, like a Souls game, or this in a weird way, like you're more forgiving.
Well, and it has, I mean, it has huge value, right? I'm partially engaged by this because I want to figure out what's going on, right? Like, we talk about interaction as only what's happening on the screen, but that's not actually true, right? What the player experiences is the true design of the game. And part of what I'm experiencing is a desire to continue just to figure this business out.
Yeah, you are a businessman.
Yes, going door to door. You know, you want to buy this pile of hearts? I'll sell it to you for 1 crystal.
There we go.
I do feel like it's pretty gross when you like open your suitcase and there's just like a mass of half-severed hearts.
Oh, because you collect Dracula's body parts in the 5 manners.
All right, there's that too. I just meant these, right, as you go trade them door to door.
Wait, I might have just thought of something.
Oh yeah?
So maybe that manor that we saw is actually the first one we go to, and maybe the white crystal shows you the thing on the ground.
That might be the case.
Let's go and check. Oh no! Oh, that bat. Oh, that's a raven. All right, we're gonna do that. We're gonna test. We're gonna test the theory.
Over, like 3 sprites, 2 sprites when you're doing certain things. I love how many of these like enemies have exactly 2 sprites.
Yeah, the economy of what the NES was capable of is on full display here. And you'll notice, I love it, like in like these legendary like not remasters, like reissues of these games. When you get into the manors and things, and there's way too much stuff going on, you definitely drop frames like crazy. Like they don't fix it. It's like it's more authentic.
But getting back to your earlier point, like, the only thing that's different about this versus, and maybe they feel like they have, oh, there it is. There's your blue thing.
I didn't need the blue crystal. So that's just the preconception. So
because the platform's blue.
Right.
You think that because, like, a blue crystal should activate blue platforms.
Yes.
But, like, what's that nonsense?
Right.
So, the thing about Souls type quest design is usually you have to make sure that your player has the level of engagement that it requires to be sure they're actually going to do this stuff rather than just quit.
Right. And I would argue that, and I think based on what we're describing, our childhoods with this game, back then, this did that.
And it's interesting because for me it did. For a certain type of player, I think it definitely did, even though it was also infinitely frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Especially towards the end.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that made us question this in the first place, and we say this in the script, both James and I, when we write scripts, or when James writes the script and I go over it, we make our changes and we do all the stuff, right? And in like, let's say paragraph 2, James was talking about like difficulty in understanding quest design. I think there's a floor here that's a invisible one coming up. That's why I'm just testing the waters. And I was like, oh, I want to do a Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest joke here. And I put it in, I wrote it, and I did the thing. And then in paragraph 3, which I hadn't gotten to yet, James made the same joke. Like, and we're like, oh, this is a perfect idea of like how at least some kind of, there it is, these 2 blocks are fake. How a certain kind of quest design makes a game stick with you. And whether or not it works for you or not, that's neither here nor there. That guy, we need him. He's gonna sell us the steak.
Blue mouth guy?
Yep, blue mouth. Okay. I hate that they have mouths now.
Well, and it is interesting, right? Because I'm trying to figure out exactly what it was about this game that
sells it.
Sold my young self on putting the time in and going back and playing this thing over and over again, even though it was kind of infuriating.
I go towards, all right, we got the steak. I go towards, there is a odd, and I'm not sure this I don't think this, what's the word I'm looking for? This buy-in is, will work with a current day audience. I think people are too used to higher fidelity things. But back in the day, the games that I played were not like this. There was not a promise that around any corner you could find something else, or that it was big and you could kind of do what you want when you want to. Even if those choices were wrong. Like Elden Ring does that a ton. Like, kicks you right out to the tree sentinel, right? That's something that basically is like teaching you don't have to fight everything, you don't have to go everywhere. Yep, I knew there was something there.
Good find. Well, and even like the day and night cycle here, right? Like that was an unexpected moment for me the first time I was playing through. And there it is, the blue orb. Look at those graphics.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
So I need to hit this steak and shatter it, I think. Yeah, memory. And then you can't grab it, you have to jump on it.
Too.
You now possess Dracula's rib.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
And remember we said a townsperson did say the rib
protected us from evil, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait and do that because I don't think it's a good move to equip it yet because we need to see that thing to get out of here. Let's see if we make, oh, sure. We might not make it out alive. I think there is something to be said about the promise. Gosh. Like the promise that if you play this game enough, you're gonna find secrets and it's going to reward your time. Weirdly enough, it does respect your time for the amount that it doesn't tell you anything.
I think that it just promised more than most games, right? Weirdly, by not being able to figure out stuff, it made the game seem much bigger than it was. Nowadays, you can run through this game pretty quick. Like, it's a couple of hours.
I think you can casually do it in about like an hour and a half if you know what you're doing.
Right, but it seemed like a 40, 50 hour game when I was, 12.
Yeah. And again, back in the day, oh yeah, look, the bone gives you a shield when you stop.
And by 12, I mean 6.
Yeah, right? No, yeah. I mean, I had, I think, 3 NES cartridges for the span of probably 6 years or something, and this was one of them. Oop,
right.
The morning sun has vanquished. Okay, this must have been changed in the. This is so weird that says whatever. I don't know, man. Yeah, I just think it's the promise, right?
So should we call it at that?
We should. We cleared a manor. We walked through some stuff. Hey, everybody, if you're interested in hearing about James's thoughts on quest design and how obtuse or not modern game design should be or could be or will be, there's a whole bunch of stuff. We talk about all the different styles of quest design in games. This is one of them over on Channel 2. Again, you can go check that out. It's over on Extra Credits Gaming. Like, subscribe, bell icon, all that jazz. James, any last thoughts before we sign off here?
That I wish they'd go back to this.
Yeah?
I mean, Dark Souls Castlevania, I'm in, right?
Yeah.
This is how I wish they would bring back the series.
Yep. No, I hear that. And then we're going to go out with Simon dancing. That's what this is.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Talk to you later.
What is a businessman?